Most people don't realize there's a lot of things you actually can do to help prevent the flu. All we hear about are ways to deal with the flu after you get it. But what can you really do before this all happens? Most of the people that get sick are usually in the fall and the winter because now we're not outside that much. The weather's cold, so we're not going out and getting any sunlight. People don't think about when they're inside all the time, that lowers your vitamin D levels in general, which is why I take vitamin D.
Hey, fitness and health fans, it's game on with another episode of the Sporting Good Posture podcast. Get Coach Marghella's advice from the sidelines as he helps you crush your game, no matter what health or fitness game you play.
Hey, I'm Coach Marghella. I'm sporting good posture. What are you sporting?
Hey, Coach Marghella, what's your advice today?
Welcome back to another episode of Sporting Good Posture. This is Coach Marghella here, and today's episode is how you can outflu the flu. Most people don't realize there's a lot of things you actually can do to help prevent the flu and to help fight it off. But more importantly, all we hear about really are ways to deal with the flu after you get it. But what can you really do before this all happens to really prevent the flu? And I look back just personally in my life, I think I've had the flu maybe twice, in my whole life. And I'm 38 now. And really, that gives me over a 95% chance of not getting it with what I've been doing. So I want to share with you some of the things I've done really since I was a kid that really have helped me not get the flu and not have to deal with that, and things that are just natural ways to help with the flu. One of the first things is getting good nutrition. And when you eat the proper foods, your body is better able to fight off infections and prevent them from even happening. So things like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc is really good for the immune system. Eating those fruits and vegetables, good amounts of protein, and really just keeping your body clean. The reason why people get the flu is because their body is toxic. So by putting in good fuel in your body and keeping it less toxic, you're less likely to have infections happen and just get sick in general. Most people, like I said, figure out what to do with the flu after they get it. But really, if you do the things on the front end, you'll prevent that. So I take supplements of vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D, especially in the fall and the winter when those are the times where people seem to get the flu the most. Now, the other thing is that getting proper sleep is really important too. And sleep is vital for anything, whether you're working out or trying to recover from the workouts itself or just trying to keep yourself healthy. Without proper sleep, you're not going to be able to fight off infections very well because your body just is not going to be able to do what it's supposed to do without the proper sleep. Because basically when you get less sleep, it opens you up to have higher cortisol levels, higher stress levels. And when your stress levels are high and your cortisol levels are high, it makes your body more prone to infections. So definitely getting better sleep is really important. And if you go back to the sleep episode, getting good sleep is really about the routines that you do at bedtime. One of the things to do before bedtime is an hour before bedtime, unplug from any kind of cell phones, any kind of technology, computers, tablets, TVs. Just really kind of wind down, read a book, listen to some music, do something that's not involving technology. Because, again, if you're staring at a screen right before bedtime, your body and your mind can't go into the proper sleep cycles because that light from the LED light from these electronics, it makes your brain too active, so it's not able to actually go into the sleep cycle that it's supposed to do. So you find yourself waking up throughout the night or not really going to sleep at all, and then you wake up tired and less energetic than you thought you should after you had a whole night's sleep. So if you go back to my episode on sleep, you can listen again on some of those tips on how to get better sleep. And that's really important, again, for the immune system. The other thing is that exercise fights off any kind of infections or the flu as well. Because when your body builds up muscle and it builds up endorphins from those exercises and your body is getting better blood flow, you're more likely to detox and flush the toxins out of your lymphatic system, and your body will be able to better fight off infections. Again, it's like if you have too much sludge in there, if you got a garbage can that's full and you keep jamming garbage in there it's going to overflow because there's no more room for it. So if you clear out what's in there, then your body can better handle the new things that come in. And especially when infection comes at this time of year, it's really important to do that. The other main thing is, you hear it a lot with schools and work and things like that, but just washing your hands is one of the main ways to protect from the flu. And it's just a simple thing to do. And sometimes people overlook that, but really, I wash my hands throughout the day, and really washing your hands is better than using hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer really is not that good for you. Most of those have too many chemicals in it, and a lot of those chemicals also lead to problems with hormones, both in females and males. And the chemicals that they use in the hand sanitizers actually are proven not to help with fighting off infections and flu. So actually washing your hands. And then the other thing is, don't use antibacterial soap. There's a lot of myths out there about using antibacterial soap. The use of antibacterial soap has actually led to more super viruses, MRSA and things like that over the years. And you see a lot of these people that go into hospitals, they start getting these major infections. And it's because they're overusing these antibacterial soaps. So I just use a regular soap. I use actually Myers is one of the ones I use, and it's just a natural soap, and it's just as good as any other soap that I've found, but it doesn't have all the chemicals in it, and it's not antibacterial. And again, the antibacterial is really a myth. Between that and the hand sanitizer, that's what's caused a lot of these super viruses and these MRSA viruses to grow too much, and that's really the problem with those. So definitely using those kind of things will actually increase your chances of getting the flu. The other thing that I always talk about, the nervous system is number one to the body. If your nervous system is flowing well, then your body is just going to be more prone to not get infections. So when you're getting adjusted, not only does adjustments help with pain. So obviously as a chiropractor, I see a ton of people with neck pain, back pain, headaches, all those things that you think of when you think of a chiropractor. But most people don't know that when you get adjusted, it actually boosts your immune system. There's a chemical called interleukin-2, to get a little scientific on you, and that chemical actually boosts almost 150% after an adjustment. So I have a lot of patients at this time of year that get sick, and they may call up and say, hey, I don't know if I want to come in today. I'm sick. And I tell them, hey, come on in, because if you get that adjustment, it'll cut down on the amount of days that you're actually sick. And there's a lot of research out there that shows that the adjustments and the boost of this interleukin-2 and just boosting your immune system in general from these adjustments really helps. And where a lot of that comes from is working on the neck. So the neck is really key, and the neck is key for sleep. The neck is key for mood, like depression, anxiety, but it's also key for the immune system. And getting the adjustments in the neck are really key to helping boost that immune system. So when somebody comes in and they tell me that, I make sure we get a good neck adjustment on them, and also doing the things like I mentioned before, really getting good sleep, getting good nutrition, eating the right foods, working out, and just watching your stress, because the stress is huge at this time of year. The other thing that people don't think about is that when they're inside all the time, that lowers your vitamin D levels in general, which is why I take vitamin D. And if you think about it, most of the people that get sick are usually in the fall and the winter, because now we're inside. We're not outside that much. The weather's cold, so we're not going out and getting any sunlight. And if you notice, that's the times of year where people have the most problems. And you hear also about the seasonal depression and things like that, especially people that live up in the north. It's cloudy, it's snowy all the time, so they don't get a lot of sunshine anyway. But especially in the winter and the fall, they're not getting the sunlight because they're inside all the time because it's too cold. So that's the reason why I take the vitamin D, is so that it really helps boost my vitamin D levels, which in turn will help my nervous system and also help my immune system fight off any kind of infections, but especially the flu. So as far as the flu in general, I don't take anything else besides the natural supplements I mentioned here. With what I've done over the last 38 years and only getting the flu 2 or 3 times, I have a 95% chance of not getting it. So for me, those odds are much better. Personally, that's what I do, and I just do the things to prevent it naturally. So just something to think about when you come into this holiday season where a lot of people start getting sick. I've seen it a lot already in my office. I've seen a lot of people miss work and miss appointments because of getting sick. And it's really what you do to prepare for it before that and doing these things in advance. So it's not just starting it right now. It's doing it through the summer into the fall so that your body is ready to handle the change of seasons, the stress levels that come with the holidays. You know, the people that do get sick that you're going to be around, you'll be better able to fight that off, and your body won't come down with the sickness, because it does suck to get the flu. Let's be honest. You know, it's definitely not the easiest thing to deal with, but if you do the right things in advance, then your body will be able to help fight that off before it even happens. So if you feel like you're dealing with sickness too much, if you feel like you keep getting sick, if you feel like your energy's down and your stress levels are up, it's good to get checked out, because again, if your body internally is not right, you're definitely going to be getting sick. You're going to get the flu, you're going to get infections, and you're going to get those repeat sicknesses throughout the winter. And the worst thing to happen is at the time of year when you really want to spend time with your family and your friends, and you want to have a good time at the holidays, the last thing you want to do is get sick, because it really ruins the holiday season. If you feel like you keep getting sick and your energy's down, reach out to me at Sporting Good Posture on Instagram and tell me what's going on, and I'll tell you what I think. I've helped a lot of people get over the flu. I've helped a lot of people prevent the flu, and it's really the best way is getting checked out, keeping yourself adjusted, and coming in and making sure that you keep your body right. Remember, the coach's door is always open. This is Coach Marghella. I'm Sporting Good Posture. How about you?
The Sporting Good Posture podcast is a broadcast wellness production powered by Ideal Health and Wellness Center. All content copyright 2019, all rights reserved. Executive producer Frank Sardella. Dr. Marghella appears courtesy of Ideal Health and Wellness Center in Cool Springs. For more information, visit sportinggoodposture.com or follow Coach on Instagram at sportinggoodposture.
Know the drill. Remember, the coach's door is always open.
Yeah.
Do I really have to remind you of that?
I lost it.
Yeah.
All right.